gotten easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my. I've been broke way longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott and took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, look at the cash bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, look at the cash bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. A few moments ago, the Steeler offensive starters, including all-pro wideout Antonio Brown, were introduced. And they've got this crowd in a frenzy as they get set to square off with the Cleveland Browns. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And this coaching staff has to be pleased with how their defense played last week. They held their opponents to 3 points, and that was it. If they get anything comparable to that performance, this one's in the bag.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Under center, it's the 2017 Heisman Trophy winner as you get a look at Baker Mayfield.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, partner, that was not a good omen right there. The very first play from scrimmage, you just want to give yourself a nice, simple throw and hopefully get yourself into a rhythm. That is the last thing you're expecting. And now you put your defense in a tough spot right from the word go.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
All right, here we go.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on. And they can run it back inside later.
To throw on second down, Gonzalez. And they'll get this down to the 10. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. They've got a first and goal from the 10-yard line. From the gun, Gonzalez. That will be caught by James. The big tight end has a Steeler touchdown. Jesse James, his second touchdown on the season. And the Steelers have taken a first quarter lead. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and it's now a 7-0 game. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell on now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
We got three down.
The numbers a week ago for Johnson. 17 carries, 77 yards, and a touchdown.
So he scored his 8th touchdown on the ground last week, and most guys I know, they want to get into round numbers. So, 10 is really the goal. And this is one sport where being selfish and scoring touchdowns is a good thing. Look for he and the offense to try and get him in there at least twice in this game.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. That's Njoku over the middle. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from me a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Carlos Hyde hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
They'll run for him with Hyde. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Carlos Hyde hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Able to punch it in on third down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a fourth down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead as all the good coaches. coaching staffs do. Anticipating what we have to make the call. They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
They go play action here on first down. This one complete, right side to McDonald. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 7-all is the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down at 5 here to start things out. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Gonzalez to throw on 2nd down. Flushed out right. And now look at him go. 20, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Their mobile, agile quarterback with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers get the quick strike touchdown. Well, you want to talk about making something out of nothing. Boy, he did that right there. What an incredible run.
Obviously, a pass play, and he couldn't find anyone open downfield. But sometimes the receivers just run those defenders off, and it creates a wide-open space.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. A little bit of flip the script. Quarter 1, they struggled. Quarter 2 here, they put things together. And I guess sometimes, Charles, you just come out and you have to get your feet underneath you in a ball game, right?
That's exactly right, because every now and then you don't come out of the gate as fast or as strong as you want to. Sometimes you have to ramp up into it or take a few hits along the way and figure it out. And that's what they've done so far. Slow start, but now they're starting to put it together.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a game that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of 6 there on first. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. Mayfield now. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Josh Gordon, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Lambeau on for the extra point. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Now Gonzalez throwing on first down. Being chased out left. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Gonzalez now looking to throw on 2nd down. Gets this one to Le'Veon Bell. And some room to roam now. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Gonzalez now on first down. And that's going to be incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Now let's go. Blue line it.
Here's Gonzalez throwing again. Escaping the pressure right. Flush to his right. And spinning now. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. And on 3rd and inches, we're going to get a whistle and a timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. 3rd and short. They'll try and pick it up through the air. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Jabril Peppers, the former first-round pick, there on the coverage. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 53. And Boswell's kick is good. And they take a 17-14 lead. Now the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll get it started in Philadelphia. The defending champs hosting Washington in an NFC East matchup. And it's the Eagles who are out in front. The Eagles trying to hold on and claim victory. From there, let's head over to Minneapolis to check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And they trail the visiting Chicago Bears. Allen Robinson, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville, see what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. The Jaguars trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
All right, here we go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Gonzalez. And McDonald here over the middle. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Hurry up, here we go.
To throw on 2nd down. Gonzalez steps away to his left. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. Back to throw. Gonzalez. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's second and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. Looking to throw. Gonzalez forced out to, and the Steelers are in for the touchdown. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Boswell for the extra point. Extra point put through by Boswell. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Boswell on now to kick this one away. Now it's Hyde on the return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. He got 29 yards that time.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 44-yard line. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the fourth. First down, Mayfield. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Josh Gordon with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Browns have cut it back within a score.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. On the return is Henderson. Oh, a nice spin.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
To throw is Gonzalez. To throw on second down. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Steelers with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Bell. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. That one looks like he'll throw here. Eluding the pressure right. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now Gonzalez operating from the gun. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup. and get set as we resume action. Here's Jordan Berry now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And down he'll go at the 25. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Back to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to his tight end, David Njoku. And it's third down. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Back to throw. Got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27. He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. David Njoku was the intended receiver. And now it's second down. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I do know that Joe Hayden was used to winning a lot of games at the University of Florida. And when it comes time for a big play in a big situation, he wants to be that guy, and he just pulled it off.
Yeah, he pulled it off, indeed. A huge interception to help put this game on ice. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They have the 3-point lead. Defense did their job. Now, late game, although it looks good, you know the coaches, they haven't counted this as a victory yet.
I agree with you totally. Big applause for the defense, but no one is taking their headset off on the sidelines. They don't believe this game is over. The offense has to close this one out by taking care of the football.
And they'll try to close it out now.
Let's go!
And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Pittsburgh, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Browns, It's unfortunately more of the same as they'll fall to 3-10 on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.